You ever feel like you want to just pretend you don't know how modern technology works? You meet the occasional person who is a millennial or younger, and they feign ignorance when it comes to understanding how social media or computers in general work. And I guess there is the rare occasion that they're arse-slurred and legitimately don't know. But other times you get the impression that they have peered into the abyss and have thought, you know what, this is not going to end well for me. So I'm just going to take a step back, put my head in the sand, and just shrug when people ask for my opinion or they ask why I'm not participating in the uh, race to the bottom. And that way, I'm going to be better off on the in the long run. And I think the one area in which um, it kind of like that path seems appealing to me is in relation to validating your kind of sense of self-worth or your kind of attractiveness, those moments where you're feeling yourself and you'll take a pic and you'll share it with the world. And then it's the kind of the modern existential cry for help. The accompanying caption, felt cute, might delete later, which is kind of an opt out, a cop out rather. It's a way in which you can say like, yeah, I felt good in the moment. I'll probably feel bad later for doing this. So just give me a moment. Give me just one little bit of give me some morsels of self-respect, because there are other people out there, the duck-faced pouters amongst us, who are dropping selfies all day every day. And in a weird way that seems kind of liberating. The people who just kind of document their entire lives. Well, first of all, it seems fucking exhausting. Those in which the archetypal girl who's always looking primed for a cute selfie, and she's getting all the right angles and the hair's nice and the outfit's fire, and that looks exhausting because you just fucking you're an unpaid extra in a reality show that never ends until you fucking hang yourself. But I'm talking about the people who are kind of just like, it's like they do their social media output is kind of like a low budget film from the 90s or something. Sometimes they look all kind of you know hot to trot. They're going out to dinner with the misso or something, and then other times it's just a face, but they like their scrunched up face when they have to get up for an early flight. They kind of give you the behind the scenes stuff, but those, even those people, they've kind of got like photogenic faces where even when they're looking haggard, tired, hungover, stressed out, they still somehow, the camera still loves you, baby. They still kind of like make it work somehow. And that looks liberating in a sense, because you're like, well, I'll show myself in any capacity. I don't really, and they've done it for years, so that's kind of like the anxiety must go away of kind of like, oh, what, are people going to think I'm ugly or something? They're just kind of like, well, no, I've done it so much over the years that it's out there now. People know who I am. Fuck it. Whereas most of us don't really do that. We kind of like pick our moments when it comes to how we share ourselves on the internet. And those moments where you're like, especially as a dude, where it's like, oh my God, I think I'm feeling good, like I should. And then you're like, well, fuck it, let's share the world with this. And then afterwards, just that inner voice where you're like, what on earth prompted you to do that, to think that that would be okay as a man? to look for validation from strangers on the internet. Not even strangers, friends and family, people you've already won over. They know what you look like. They've seen you at your best. They've seen you at your worst. Why do they need another bit of your face in front of them? But then you take another step back and you're like, well, hang on, this is the fucking game we're playing now. We do live in an atomized world where we're off doing our own little fucking laptop jobs and we've got our own niche specialization cordoned off. You speak to maybe kind of like one manager at work digitally who kind of oversees your little crevice of the workforce. And that's it. You see your immediate, whoever you're living with, you see your fucking dog or your cat, but everyone else, the whole big wide world out there, even when you go to a concert or something like that, it's kind of, you have to kind of be on drugs or drinking to actually pluck up the courage to talk to strangers or for strangers to talk to you. So we live in an atomized world. And so occasionally you get this pang for connection where you're like, oh fuck, I need to share how I'm feeling or how I'm looking to feel alive, baby. Please let me have this. And then afterwards you're like, why the fuck did I do that? I look like a fucking dick. Because you think about your own interpretation of other people's selfies. If you're in a good mood, you're like, good on that person. They do look fucking great. And good on them for sharing. And then other times you're like, look at this fuckhead putting his face in front of me while I'm trying to eat breakfast again. Fuck off. Unfollow. Also, the other problem is, and this, you know who doesn't need to do felt cute, might delete later? Someone who's gone through a massive glow up, someone who's lost a lot of weight. That's generally the only one I can think of, or someone who's kind of like, I don't know, was receding, had like chronically receding hair, and then they finally shaved their head and they look objectively way better. Those people can post, and it's like that's universally applauded. And I'm not putting the boot in here. I agree with that. I think it's like, fuck yeah, like good on you. You've made a tough call. You've gone through some work. You've gone through some serious self-development. And you deserve the accolade and the public recognition that comes with that. And you're showcasing yourself. You've been like, hey, I used to be like this, just in case you don't know. It's an ad almost. You're like, all right, here I am now. This is what I look like. Got it. But then the average fucker who's just kind of like plodding along and not much is changing. Yeah, you're losing a hair or two here or there. You're getting a couple grays, getting a couple extra wrinkles, but it's just the slow degradation with time. There's no massive glow up or glow down. Then it's like, well, why am I sharing myself out there? And this is someone who's in a good, I'd like to consider, might get a rude shock, but I'd like to consider a good relationship. So it's kind of like, I'm not chasing. If you're a single person, this complicates things even further, right? Because you got to figure out the good kind of like a PowerPoint presentation you need for Tinder or Hinge and all the different angles and showcasing all the different sides of your personality. That complicates things further. And of course, you need a volume of self images to acquire the right type of collage for your dating escapades. However, for the rest of us who are just plodding along and occasionally just like, yeah, can I just get some fucking random validation that I'm alive? You do it. You give yourself an out by saying might delete later. And then as soon as you do it, you're like, shouldn't have done that. Just delete it. Everyone knows what your face looks like. People know you're still alive. And if you weren't, and if you aren't contributing, if you aren't making a joke, you haven't created a piece of art, you haven't accomplished something of meaning to everyone else, why are you interrupting their day with your dumb face? So it's kind of like this strange thing where it's like, all right, I am fucking atomized. I am craving attention and connection with people. Yet when I reach out and try and get some, I'm riddled with guilt because I feel like I'm unworthy of it. Yeah, that's life, baby. But I don't know. It's am I just crazy in thinking that this is what people are thinking, or am I just overthinking this? All right. Please make sure you like my next selfie that I post. Please, please, please. All right. Catch you on the next one. Bye.